What happens when a runaway bride of a sheriff's son from Texas crosses paths with a legendary trucker turned bootlegger on his way back to Atlanta?
You get a absolute masterpiece of just sticking pieces of film and footage wherever you want and still making a fantastic movie.
Find out next on Trees in Space. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trees in Space, the show where we watch and review all movies of all genres, and we tell you what the critics thought, what the fans thought, and what we think. Is it worthy of a forest, small grove, or just a stump to sit on? This week, in case you missed the thumbnail, we watched the 1977 comedy Smokey and the Bandit, starring Burt Reynolds, Sally Fields, and Jackie Gleason. I'm Jason, and that's Nate. And as he said at the beginning, just take these film, all put it wherever you want to. You got a great film, and that's pretty much the review. So, see you next Monday.
Take care, everybody.
No, seriously. What'd you think? I know you've seen it tons of
Oh,
times.
I, I almost didn't watch this movie. I saw it within the last 30 some odd days, and I was like, you know what? I'm I've seen it recently enough, but you know what? I have not watched this film as a critic. So now I have
Oh,
my notes, and we're going to go ahead and dissect this movie because it may be one of my favorite movies of all time. But man, this guy fudged everything up, and we're going to get into it. So, Jason,
well, yeah. I will tell everyone what this is about. Um, Big Enos wants drink Coors Light, and back then in '77, it was Coors Light wasn't on this side of the Mississippi or Texas. I'm not sure. I think it's Mississippi. Yeah, it says Mississippi without permit, and well, they have the beer in Texas, so they pay Clint Eastwood, not Clint Eastwood. Wow, Burt Reynolds, who was the
oh, my
bandit.
favorite movie. Oh my God, could you imagine Clint Eastwood in that movie? Oh my God, that's the movie I want. Oh, can AI do that? Can we get a movie?
So and they have to go back in 11 and 28 hours, and in the way they run into, he runs into Sally Field, who is Carrie, and she's a runaway bride who's leaving the son of Sheriff Buford T. Justice, and he is on the Bandit's tail because of her, and that's where we are. Simple.
Is it okay? So let's get into the soundtrack of this movie. Like the bandit when they're out in the friggin' park there just walking in the beginning when they're introducing the bandit, like oh man. Is there any other movie out there that has songs that make a tale of this legendary person that just doesn't exist?
Um, no, I mean, matter of fact, and Charlie Daniels has a song called I think it's called Stroker, and he actually mentions the bandit in that song. Like, hey, the bandit's coming up behind you. So it's pretty impressive. No, I don't. I will say this. I never noticed that in that song, Eastbound and Down.
Yes.
At the beginning part of the song, he says westbound and down.
Yes, because it kept throwing me off because I was singing
Yes.
around and I was like eastbound and I was like westbound. I'm like, why the fuck? I'm like,
What?
oh my God, it's because
Because they're going west.
they're going that way. Oh
And
my
they switched to
God.
the east. I blew my mind. Boom. And that was another thing that blew my mind. It's probably the only two things I'm going to come out with this. That is, I watched it. I watched it a lot, and I ain't watched the last 30 days or whatever. But I watched it last 5 years probably. I never realized that the bandit was a truck driver. I always remembered him just driving the freaking Trans Am. And no, that's his truck. Jerry Reed is driving his truck, the
Yes.
bandit's truck. And I love that truck. The side, the painting on there, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
And they're like, what? I can't stand or wait to see the bastard that paints his truck or the prick that paints his truck
Yes.
like this. Um, I will say that this movie gets a stump boost because of the hog that you can see in Burt Reynolds' pants because those things are so freaking tight. You could just see full on everything. It's a freaking grain silo down there.
See, there is a reason that Burt Reynolds was on the in the Centerfold of Playgirl one year because he's a very good-looking, sexy, charming man. He just is. I can see why the girls are in love with him.
Oh my God, yeah. And like everything, it was so flattering to him. Like he had so many good quippy lines. Uh,
Hmm.
I was so shocked that because this movie, right, it's filmed 99.99998% outside. And the audio was perfect. Like it was
Yeah, yeah.
like the background noise was very quiet. Like I don't know how the hell they managed to do that at all.
Yeah, they
Uh,
did a very good job with the wind blowing. And I also like the thing where Sally Fields, where they flip the cop off, when she flipped the cop off and
yeah.
that spin, she's in the car. I mean, it's not like they clipped it to her right when it stopped. They did the whole spin as one shot, and she popped out and flipped the board. I'm like, she was in that car when that stunt was done. I like that. That was pretty nice.
Um, when we first meet Sally Field, and I totally forgot her name was Carrie. Up until that point, I was like, damn, they even really named her. She was just Frog. So like I was Frog Frog. Um, when they take off, right? Did you notice how many sets of burnouts there were?
I did notice the burnouts on the floors. Yeah, the ground a lot. I mean, the road.
Do you
Yes.
think they took two takes, or they took the second take of that footage?
Um,
'Cause those marks are definitely the same width. Like we don't need
yeah, I mean,
my cousin
I'm
Vinny.
sure they did it a couple times, and they took the best one. They definitely didn't take the first one because the marks were there. So they took the second and the third one, absolutely.
Yeah, it had
And
to
that
be
was a few
the second.
times.
Yeah,
Yes,
which I
that
thought
was
was
quite
a
a few times.
pretty clever. Though, okay, so I said this in the beginning, right? They kind of just here's the clerks, if you will. They shot this thing so freaking crazily out of sequence, right? So let's talk about 13 minutes and 30 seconds into this movie. You see the bandit driving down the road, right? There's two people in the car. Sally Fields isn't in the movie yet at 13 minutes and 30 seconds. So they just showed some, like, all right, we're going to roll this one shot. This is a perfect shot. We're going to toss it in there. Nobody's going to notice. Um,
And nobody has.
um, oh, the sheriff's car. Okay.
That's
3435, sheriff's car, no damage. 4438, sheriff's car, still fine. Um, Now that is after the fact that he got clipped by Snowman.
Jerry Reed's truck. Yeah, Snowman. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, well, what the fuck? And
Well, I
that
mean, yeah. I mean,
and
there's
that
also a scene where he has the front bumper off, and the next scene the front bumper's on, but the rest of the car is damaged. That was out of sequence too.
also the door was shut. His car door when the Asian trucker like goes bonsai.
Yeah, racist as hell, by the
Oh my God, so freaking
way.
bad. But when he took that door out, the Buford T. Justice's car door was shut.
Hmm?
So he got out of the car, he shut the door, and
No,
then,
but he didn't. He left it open.
no, he didn't.
Uh,
5948,
I
5950.
guess the clip will show up in here and we'll know for sure.
Uh,
And I'm like, you did it on purpose, you some bitch. He did because I got you to your grave.
Another one. 50 minutes and 26 seconds. Snowman looks out the side mirror and the bandit is driving the car, not Frog. This is after She goes to drop him off, or he goes to drop her off at the Choke and Puke, and
Hmm.
for T Justice gets the Diablo sandwich with a Dr. Pepper. And
And the prices of all this food is unbelievable.
oh my God, this is my last one. When when the sheriff apprehends the bandit at the House of Ill Repute, and
Trailer.
yes, at 1 hour, 19 minutes and 52 seconds, the handcuffs are closed. At 19 minutes and 1 hour, 19:54, handcuffs are already open. Junior just walks over there, fumbles with them a little bit, and then takes them off. They're already undone. So at some point, they cut that scene,
Ah.
already undid it, and he's like, oh, yeah, just go over there and just fiddle around with it.
Well, you know what, y'all, you're missing another one, a big one, the only one I really noticed. When they do the jump, the freaking jump, right?
Yeah,
And the first cop car jumps or hits whatever hits the water. The second cop car stops and gets bumped by two Buford T, and then he gets knocked down like this. Where's the first cop car? That's not in the scene.
it's
And where
not.
did that
You're
stuff come
right.
from?
You're right. It's completely gone. Like they just,
And there's no because the first one went into the water. The second one
yeah,
should have hit him, like it should have hit the other car,
yeah, you're
but
right.
nothing like that. Yeah, I'm like that's weird.
But I
So
do
that was a
like
big
when
one.
he's like, "Hey, Sarge, I didn't wreck it. It was my
It's a
fault."
base. It's a football game. Go watch it. You sit and watch the game, and I'm gonna leave. That's Buford T. Justice. He's just, oh, he was crazy. I think he was the best thing. I mean, I like the little person's character. I liked his attitude too. But I love Buford T. Justice. He made this movie.
When he was talking to Sheriff Branford, and Sheriff Branford's like, "Well, that's not germane to the situation." And then Buford
Yes.
Justice goes, "The goddamn Germans have
Germans ain't
nothing
got
to
nothing to
do with
do with
this."
it. Oh.
Movie is so gosh darn brilliant. Yeah, you know what? Some of it didn't age very well, but you gotta remember that it's still a comedy, and
Hmm.
unfortunately, that was appropriate at that point
Right.
in time. You know,
And I don't know if this is the first fourth wall break in cinema history, but it's a classic. When he goes around and the cop's chasing him, and he comes into the dark and he slowly goes in front of the camera. Then he
yes.
looks at the camera and smiles and goes on. I'm like, yeah, yeah. 40 years before Deadpool.
Oh my God, yeah. Um, in some research of mine for this movie, because after I watched this movie, I got very curious,
Mm,
and I learned that the car jumping scene, right? It was a NASCAR modified Trans Am. That was a 500 horsepower vehicle versus the 200 horsepower of the 77, though it had the
mm.
front end of a 76. I learned that too in this research. So I had to use that in order to do the jumping scene. And then, this is my last little tidbit. I got
Mm.
curious because I don't know if you would be curious to know this answer, or you at home, if you'd be interested in knowing this. But how many Trans Ams do you think? Actually, I was really curious on how many uh Le Manses there were, which is a sheriff's car. That was my original quest, but then I also had found the Trans Am one because apparently more people were curious about the Trans Am. But how many Trans Ams do you think that they used in this film?
22.
Three.
Oh, I was gonna say three.
Now,
I really was.
it could have been 12, or it could have been four. It depends on who you ask. So, Burt Reynolds says there was 14. But the director, Hal Needham, said that there was three. But he asked for four.
I love the little back and forth between the sheriff and the bandit on the radio when they're talking back and forth. I liked it when they saw each other, like I think in the diner, and then again as he drove off, he's on the jack. So the rule of three we talked about. So on the third time at the very end, he looks over his left shoulder, and there he is. So we
Yeah.
did the rule of
He's like,
three there. I love
he's like, you know what, Sheriff? I can't lie to you.
you're too good a man.
Go ahead and look over your left shoulder. And he just goes, oof.
Oof. Oof, it's so great. Or the very beginning where you first meet Buford T, he comes out, those kids are puts hands on there.
You look
Let's
tired.
go. He's
Arrest yourself.
yes.
You look tired too. Arrest yourselves.
And
Kicks him in the
we
ass,
got
and that was an
that's
attention.
oh good. And then he leaves and like, hey, he's gone. We should go. You do what you want to. I'm saying right
Right
here.
here.
We didn't really talk about Jerry Reed. Um,
I freaking
he's
love him.
Snowman. I like the part where Jerry Reed is like trying to figure out how the that's nothing. The CBs, the CBs. Okay, going up every two or going down from the basement, working up every two every time you say, okay, great, that works perfectly fine. But apparently everyone's on the same freaking frequency halfway through the movie.
And when I was in high school, I had a CB radio in my car, and I didn't hear anybody. I'd be sitting next to truckers, and I'd be like hoping to hear them or whatever. And this movie ruined CB radios for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It really did. And I want to do. I've been on the interstate a lot lately. Not lately, but in my life. I don't see convoys like that no more. I see two trucks in a row, but they don't convoy. Why they don't do that no more? It was a thing. Convoy was a thing.
Yeah. At 28 minutes and 10 seconds, the movie loses all realism for me. So the last hour of this movie, I watch in complete disdain. Now, the reason is the bandit takes a turn into a dirt road and somehow knows where he's going and finagles all the way back to the highway. He's
Yeah.
never been there before. At that point, this movie becomes unrealistic and is completely cannot happen. It's fake. It's the
And
fakest movie I've ever seen.
that's when Sally Field said, I think I just did a 10 100. And he goes, well, at least it wasn't a 10 200. And she goes, yeah. Well, I guess we'll just move on to the 5 and 1 star reviews. The first 5 star review comes from Tony O. My sister and me saw this movie when it came out at theaters. We have completely different tastes when it comes to comedy, and we both laughed our butts off to this one. To this day, it is my top 3 favorites of all time movies.
Oh, oh, that's high praise. That's top
It is
three.
Hypers. Yeah.
Like, I don't look, I limit maybe top 10 because the the jumbles. But wow. The first 1 star or less comes from Brent A. 20% rating, not much under the hood of this rather dull storyline and simple characters.
The next 5 star review comes from Sean R. My favorite movie of Burt Reynolds. It was the reason I bought one of those Firebirds. It's the reason a lot of people bought that Firebird.
It was like a 6 month wait or back order on black Trans Ams in
Yeah, oh,
76.
I'm sure.
Uh, the next 1 star last comes from Hennius A. Only for Burt fans. If you're a Burt fan, you have my sympathy.
I saw that one, and that's all I gotta say, sir. With all due respect, and you're not due any. The last 5 star review comes from Tank T. This is one of the best movies of all time. It got action, drama, and even a love scene, SEEN, for the ladies. It's a must see, and I'd consider it one of my favorite films.
Got a love scene for the ladies. Oh my god, how old are you? Who freaking what? it's a love scene. It's a love scene for everyone. Like just the ladies. Come on. How
He
old?
took off his hat.
Yeah, he did. Why don't
Does
you?
that mean he doesn't do it in the shower? Does he wash his hat in the shower? Because that's only that'd be two reasons to take your head off.
Yeah, see, I think the only reason would be to take his hat in the shower, but his hair was pretty greasy. The last one star or less comes from unknown. This really aged badly, really badly. Makes no sense throughout the film, and the plot serves only as an excuse to have racing cars and trucks. I remember loving it as a child, but struggling big time as an adult. Similar case to Moonraker, by the way, but at least that one has self-conscious camp that makes it enjoyable, plus Richard Kyle's Jaws redemption arc.
Okay, half of that was about Moonraker. The WTF. I'm trying to leave everything and
Oh
make
my
sure
god,
wrong.
I forgot all about the WTF. Oh, I'm so excited.
It's unknown and it has 3 stars. Of course, the cast in Smokey and the Bandit does a good job, except Jackie Gleason, who's away too much. This movie isn't any challenge for me as an audience. It's no conflict in this film, which just walking on sunshine.
Okay, hold up. Jackie Gleason, we talked about the beginning of the movie, the three teens burglaring the car
Hmm.
that Carrie left. Did you see the sweat on Jackie Gleason
Yes,
from the
right here.
beginning of that shot to the
Hmm.
end of it?
Yeah.
That man sweat for this role. He almost had acid reflux having in this.
I think that was real too.
Loved it. Oh my god,
Thank you, fine lady. Thank you, kind lady.
nice ass.
Now, oh, I love that part. Not this. Oh, I'm gonna get you when I get home. I hit your mama right in the mouth. Ain't no way. Oh, my head fell off. I wish your damn head was in it. Like, just sorry, but that's crazy. He was the best part of the movie, and I mean, there's no conflict. The whole movie was a conflict of him trying to get away from the cops. That was the essence of the movie.
Wanted for a man act?
Well, I guess we're gonna find out what the critics scored this movie and what the audience rated this movie. Well, the critics at Rotten Tomatoes have rated this movie at 72%, while the audience, which is you at home, gave it an 85%. And I agree with both these sons of guns, not these little bastards or whatever you said at one of our recordings, call them little bastard people or something. So you did.
I don't remember. I had to be in the moment.
Oh, well, now let's find out what I think and what Nate thinks about this movie. So I like Smoking the Bandit. It came out in 77. I was somewhere between the ages of 2 and 22. We haven't decided yet, but I remember watching. I remember liking it. Um, I everything about it when I was a kid, I loved it, and I wanted the Trans Am, and I wanted to be called. I wanted a handle. I wanted to be called something like Snowman or Smokey Bear. Or, I wanted a handle. I wanted a CB. Nate had got a CB. I didn't get one. He said, "Was it worth it?" I don't know, but I would recommend this to my surgeon and to his girlfriend and everyone else and whoever else because I think it's a delightful movie. I don't think it's not too long. It don't take itself seriously. It knows it's a movie because Burt Reynolds looks at the camera near the beginning. Um, it's just a lot of fun. It has some parts there that are, messed up. Nate pointed out 90% of them, which is great because that's what we do here. Jackie Gleason made himself a star again because of this movie. I get a overwhelming feeling of joy when I think about this movie. And of course, the bump, the bulge bump that Nate said that he's going to give it, I'm going to do the same. In that case, it's almost perfect, but not quite. Four trees, one stump.
Now it's my turn.
This movie has so much wrong going for it. The impossible task of 28 hours to get from one spot and to the other. And then how the heck does he call Big Enos and be like, hey, start the clock? Like, he wastes time. He's got to go buy the blocker car, get it in the trailer, and then get to freaking Snowman's house. And he has all those kids, and he's got to navigate one. And there's also the scene where he's like, I always know it's you because you kicked me in the balls. Great little lines like that. Um,
He has six kids, by the way. Snowman does.
uh, you know, but outside of that, this movie, for some reason, just brings me in. And you know what? I would recommend this movie to the world. Everybody should see this movie. It is brilliant. Um, I at the beginning thought this movie was a four tree movie, and then there's the stump bump. I should have made this a four tree and a stump movie. But then we started talking about this movie, and I laughed, and I felt so good talking about this movie that because of the stump bump, this is a five tree freaking movie. I I did.
Hey, no one can blame you. No one. I mean, you've heard it here. He's given one of his very few five tree movies out, and that was a Smoking the Bandit. I think he's had two other ones, or maybe just the one other one. I've had none because we haven't released it.
You have one.
But it wasn't released. So and it ain't gonna get released before this one. So right now we have none for me. But yes, it was a great movie. But tell us what you think at home. Is it Five Trees to you? Is it just a stump? Do you like Burt Reynolds? Do you like 70s movies, car movies? What movies do you want to see? Do you want us to watch for you and give you our opinion and talk about? Put a comment down there, put your notifications on, ring the bell, give us a like, and tell somebody, share it, do all those little buttons right down there, because it's germane to us, even if the Germans have nothing to do with it. So we'll see you next week on Trees in Space.